This should do it.よろしく。Let's fight. Run! Allow me. It's livid! Run! Great. Ready to go! めん This one. Leaving so soon? Indeed. Time to move. Need a hand? Leaving so soon? Now, stay down. Damage done. Go men. Good. Time to move.
Very well. Yeah.
ごめん。
Ah, it's you. That's perfect. Vessels can pass safely by the island again now. We get all sorts of supplies from the north. Clothes, nets, you name it. If boats can't get through, Minato really suffers. What with violent seas and the Kemono to deal with, crewing a ship is a hazardous occupation around here. Indispensable for the town, however. Much like you hunters are. I think you're all doing amazing jobs. Every one of you.
Yo! The carpenters are fine. You want to know what's still to do? Here's the list. Great. Bye for now.
Konnichiwa. I'm not sure that anyone has been. Have a think about which of my little ones you're most. Can I be of service?
You succeeded, and you may examine anything in as much detail as you please before you decide. Do you have all you... You do make me sad.
Not the most auspicious start, is it? Running into a snowstorm? We'll shelter here until the worst is over. This place brings back memories too. I might as well tell you, I suppose. Years ago, I was living at the castle we are headed for as a hired hand. The daimyo was called Ishido Ujitsuna-sama. The Do in my family name Daidoji, and the Uji in my first name were both given to me by the daimyo. The Ishido clan were the Shugo governors of Azuma at the time. But the Ago clan, Shugo representatives in the western provinces, rebelled against the Ishido clan. The cursed tale trying to wag the dog. In the aftermath of the battle that ensued, the castle was attacked by Kemono. I don't know if it was happenstance or planned by the Ago clan. Either way, the entire Ishido clan was wiped out overnight. And I have a suspicion it's the same Kemono, the Death Stalker we saw on the Spirit Isle. If it is, he needs to die. Agreed? You say all the right things. But a word of warning. That wolf is stronger than any other Kemono in these parts. I know from bitter experience. Out of all the Kemono I fought around the castle, that one was something else. Just don't get yourself killed. Hear the howl? It came from over by the castle. We'll split up and track it down. If I find it first, I'll holler. I'll take the ground. You head for the keep. Well, quite a ruin. All thanks to the Kimball. It was a giant ice tusk that led the attack. Charged straight at the castle and split the keep clean in two. And the blizzard closing on the place. It's been in the story state ever since. Sounds like you're inside. Hot on the heels of the ice dust came a pack of hunters. And they're a sly breed. They prey on the young and the weak, and overpower the strong by numbers. Every last person in the castle was killed. Was hunted. I could take that one out, I could save my Himesaur. How wrong I was. I managed to gouge out one of its eyes. But that's as far as my luck held. Next thing I knew, it had sunk its fangs into my arm. It left me barely conscious. Just conscious that everyone being...
Can't hurt.
What's going on? Is it the wolf? I'm on my way. Excuse me. The wolves are fast. Their claws and teeth are ready to suffer.
It's complete. Makes life easier. Time to move. Good spot. Makes life easier. Time to move. Makes life easier.
You never know.
yourself. Weak. That's it then. Stirred up some memories I'd sooner forget. Mazira! Oh, the bird? What now? I don't know what this is, and I don't want to. Let's go. The so-called Bird of Auspice? What the hell's it doing here? Beats me. But one thing's for sure. That was the wolf that killed my master. Finally, I've avenged their deaths. Or rather, you have for me. This useless body of mine is good for nothing now. But this I had to see through. I thank you. Sorry. I was remembering those who were lost. This is no place to linger. We should get back to Minato. Then let's go. The sensei will be getting impatient. Oh, and this was... Never mind. Arigato, Chief.
I'm not sure that anyone has been near the... Have a think about which of my little ones you're most interested in. I think that's about... Alright. Let's see what I can do for you.
Ah, there you are. Tell me... I must say, I'm glad to see you both back safe. Did you successfully dispatch the Rasetsu?
Well, we nearly came unstuck, but luckily we had some help from on high. Not that I was any use in the battle. Anyway, Chief, don't keep the lady waiting.
Ah, arigato. I realized this was a matter of retribution for you, Fujishige. But nevertheless, a life is a life. I take full responsibility. And this specimen will not go to waste. I will need time to carry out tests, however. I won't be able to tell you anything before morning.
Sounds like my work is done then. So I'll be taking my leave of you for now. I'm in the mood for drinking. I'll lost and alone.
Welcome back. Do you have a moment?
A lot has happened recently. There's something that's been playing on my mind. It's Tamakazura. I've noticed him taking off from the bathhouse a lot lately. Do you know where he goes? I could, but he'll only evade the question, I'm sure. Maybe you'd have better luck? But I suppose it doesn't matter. He always seems to be back the following day. And Karakuri keep the baths going anyway.
Did I hear you discussing Tamakazura?
Mm-hmm. He keeps disappearing lately. I was wondering where he goes.
Yes. He is wont to wander without warning. To the ruined castle, perhaps? I have noticed a longing in his eyes when he gazes at the northwest sky.
The castle. That's no place for a leisurely stroll at the best of times. There's talk of another savage Kemono up that way recently. If that really is where he's going, we need to fetch him back.
How alarming. In that case, could you find out where he is going when he leaves town? And eliminate any dangerous Kemono in the area. I will gladly compensate you for your efforts. I can ill afford to lose a valued customer after all.
I'm no expert on building. Why are you giving me these? Asked to. By whom? It certainly wasn't me. Ah, this was Kanna's doing. I see. It's because of the note. I thought she was being a little nosy before. I'll have to thank her for meddling. Anyway, you did well to work out what it meant. I owe you. If there's anything you need in return, let me know.
I heard about you defeating the Deathstalker. I'm sure that will be a great burden lifted for Ujishige-san. He used to have a lot of wild and violent episodes, you know? When I was little, I remember him getting blind drunk and throwing himself into the sea. The poor fishermen had to cast their nets and haul him out. And that was just one of many similar incidents. I think he lives with the constant pain of losing his samurai master and other companions. But what you've done may have eased that a little. I don't suppose he'll say much about it, but I'm sure he's very grateful to you. Oh, by the way, it seems the spirit wheel, Minato's symbolic centerpiece, was originally one of a pair of karakuri. I discovered that when we were on the Spirit Isle before. There were fragments of a stone tablet there that showed another tower, a lot like the wheel, with the corpses of Kemono around its base. That was my first thought too. But Minato was abandoned for a while. So my best guess is that it fell into disrepair during that time. And only the spirit wheel was left, as a relic of the pair. You probably already know that the spirit wheel is the karakuri that distributes celestial thread all over town. This other tower seems to have been used to accumulate thread for powering other large devices. A complement to the wheel in a way. And since it was shown with Kemono corpses around it, I'm wondering if it was some kind of weapon. Even though so much of our heritage has been lost, there are still lots of things our forefathers left behind for us in Minato. It's clear that karakuri were all around them, a part of their everyday lives. My hope is that one day we can restore Minato to the way it was.
You succeeded in reaching the castle ruins? An unset... Do you recall the young man from Minato who succumbed to a kimono attack along the Blossom Trail? Well, I have heard rumors of late about an unknown kimono in those parts. That is the burning question. Unless it is hunted, we shall be eternally ignorant. Would you be so kind? And if it were to result in 1 or 2 rare materials to sell, well, that might profit us both. The decision is yours, of course. But you always do the right thing. I have no doubt you will live up to my every expectation. I have some new... Could I trouble my most treasured hunter for a small favor? I was expecting some merchants from the north, but they are very late. Such a worry. They said they would come via the castle ruins, you see. What if they have come under attack by kimono? Would you be so kind as to make sure that nothing untoward has happened?
Don't bother.
Oh, young Yataro. How unexpected. Do I take it you are concerned for the well-being of our esteemed hunter?
Not really. I just don't see why anyone should have to go and rescue complete strangers. If your merchants can't handle kimono, they should take a different route. Everyone knows the castle ruins are dangerous.
Passage by boat was sadly impossible. And I am in urgent need of the goods in their charge.
But what if going to bail them out lands one of us in trouble?
Do you mean to say that if I failed to return from business at the ruins, you would not come to my aid?
Well, you're an outsider too. And anyway, I wouldn't... I mean...
Domo. You are always so delightfully willing to oblige. The merchants told me their planned route, so I shall be able to guide you via your karakuri.
Do you even know how to say no?
Arema. Some people do so struggle to express their feelings openly. Anyway, I shall leave my merchants in your ever-capable hands, and I will, of course, repay you handsomely for your efforts. I leave it in your ever-capable hands.
You haven't seen Len, have you? I have to get this letter to her. But I have an urgent job to finish off as well. You couldn't deliver it to her for me, could you? You've saved my skin. Don't forget now. It's for Ren.
A letter? For me? Who's it from? I'll read it later. No. It's from my father. Now then, I need to hunt a kimono. Would you give me a hand?
I've made some progress with my research. Come. Sorry to keep you on tenterhooks, but I finished my examination of the Rasetsu now. As I'd predicted, a paltry amount of celestial thread remains in the Deathstalker's system. Far less than I would normally expect to see. It must have been struggling to absorb thread for quite some time, which probably explains its appearance on the Spirit Isle. It was trying to satisfy its hunger.
But why there? It's hardly the easiest place to get to. Why not head for the canyon first?
Yes, we can only conclude there must be some reason why it chose the island. The question is, what reason? Perhaps it was routed by a stronger Kemono, for example?
Bakana. There's no other Kemono that could have threatened that thing.
Well, nevertheless, it's clear that this Rasetsu was fighting for its life, searching desperately for celestial thread, which should ordinarily be abundant in these parts. Just as humans have fought over land and resources since the dawn of time, Kemono try to gain supremacy over those around them in order to survive. It's the providence of nature. Yes, most probably. The Kemono have been peaceful for years, but now they're starting to push violently into new territory. An alarming trend.
So, it won't stop with a wolf and the bear? Other Kemono will follow, you mean? Surely not Amaterasu, though. The Bird of Auspice is a different beast.
Let us revert our attention back to the Rasetsu, and the attack on it by Amaterasu at the Frozen Fort. The after effects of that conflict may already be starting to show, in disturbances in the weather or surrounding flora, for example. I hope my fears are unfounded, but Minato could conceivably be affected. So I wonder if you'd revisit the castle and look around? Consider it a hunting request, if you will.
Nandayo. We escaped mortal danger only to be told to turn around and march straight back into it? Well, sounds like we got our orders, Chief. Let's just hope we don't run into any more of those wolves. Wait, doesn't the forest look strange to you over there? That must be what the sensei was talking about. I'll look around and see if anything else looks unusual. Shout if you run into trouble. Feels strange knowing it's gone. Almost lonely somehow. Two different wars fighting each other. And our king doesn't show here. Not in a place like this. Chief, I think the sensei will examine it. Can you take it down? a feeling you wouldn't take much longer dispatching that thing. You're in the snowy peaks? That was an unusually powerful boar. Must have left the old Blossom Trail and crossed the snowy mountains to get here. And he would have to be tough to make that journey. But how could one King Tusk be so different from another? And why is it so hot here? There shouldn't be flowers blooming in the snow like this. We should get back and report to the sensei.
Can you hear me? Either of you. If you can hear, then answer.
Natsume, dosta? Are you in trouble?
A huge kimono. Here in Minato.
Oi, Natsume, what's going on? What huge kimono? We need to get back to town fast. I've got a very bad feeling about this. Another kimono Indian. Not to be trusted. First things first, let's make sure everyone's safe. What a damned mess!
Fujishige-san! Thank the spirits you're back safe. The town is... it's too awful. But we have to tend to the wounded. Can you see what you can do? We need help. All the help we can get. Arigatou gozaimasu. The last of the fires have finally been put out. It was the Bird of Auspice. Amaterasu attacked us. She destroyed people's homes. Tried to kill people, even. We did our best to defend ourselves, but it was so sudden. The hunters had their hands full just trying to get people to refuge. Karakuri all over Minato are in ruins. Even the spirit wheel.
The situation is dire on the seaward side of town. Every residence lies in ruin.
We were powerless to do anything. All we could do was run for cover. It was pitiful. The bird of... well, Amaterasu has flown over the town in the past. But she's never shown any sign of attacking before. We never felt that we were in any danger from her. I suppose we were reassured by that. We felt secure, but we'd been lulled into a false sense of security.
Kimono are oblivious to the feelings of humans. Large kimono, the Great Bear and Amaterasu, for example, see humans like ants. A nuisance easily brushed aside. But we treat kimono as they treat us. If they are a nuisance, we too strive to eliminate them. What in times of peace you call the Bird of Auspice, in times of war, you will simply call the enemy.
You're so right.
What is lost is lost. We must turn our faces from the past and gaze into the future.
But... what can we... Actually, yes. You're right again. There is something I can do.
Perhaps a perusal of my wares would be as good a place to start as any. And what of you, Hunter? An essential task, I have little doubt. But perhaps not one to prioritize over an assessment of the town? Haste hurts progress, as they say. I believe your place should be here in Minato's greatest hour of need.
Say Amaterasu comes back. Would Minato get wiped out? But how? She'll destroy everything. All our homes. If that isn't wiped out, then what is? If Minato's flattened, I don't have anywhere else to go. No home, no family. No point thinking about the future. We don't even know if we have one.
Everything we see and touch turns to dust eventually. Objects, people, places. Minato is no different. It must have an end. Like everyone else, I've seen my fair share of ends. More than my fair share, perhaps. The village I grew up in burned to the ground overnight. The thieves who torched it. A pile of rotting corpses. Daimyo Ichido. Destroyed by war. Then finished by Kemono. Everyone fights it. But when the time for your end comes, nothing can save you. I learned that a long, long time ago. But even after this horrible attack, I see a flicker of hope in your eyes. I see defiance. I know someone else with eyes like yours. But I don't understand where your strength comes from.
My father always used to say, people are scary creatures, but Kemono are even worse. Humans attack out of hatred or greed. They destroy property because it's in the way. Kemono don't think like that. That bird was just acting on instinct. Flying around, beating its wings, snapping its jaws, and not even needing a reason to do it. But when nature bares its fangs at us, sometimes we have to stand up to it. For our families and for our friends.
I have a good picture of how things are around the fort now. I could hear everything over the Karakuri. No doubt there's a connection with this disaster. It's imperative that we act swiftly. Although, I'm at a bit of a loss to know quite how. For the time being, ask around and see what details you can discover about Amaterasu. I need to gather my thoughts.
There's so little I can do to help. How fortune smiled upon us when she led you our way.
We were naive. We should never have assumed he wouldn't attack us.
There you are. Seen the town? It's a wreck. Homes in tatters. People wounded everywhere. Some worse than that. Damn that Kemono. This is Otsuki Castle all over again. Ripped apart. Not a soul left. Cold. Dead. I was powerless even then. All I got was an eye. One measly eye of one measly wolf. Saw. I won't let history repeat itself.
I don't believe this is... If we all pitch in and work together, we can overcome this. I really believe that.
This is...
What a miserable sight. The Hunter's Town, in such disarray. Were there more like you among your ranks? Perhaps this tragedy could have been prevented. But for mere mortals, the aggressor was too strong. The Kemono grow ever more desperate. They tussle for territory. They clash for prey. Hunger now drives them to kill one another. And Minato is not the only casualty. Soon across all of Azuma, nature will be destroyed. Plants will wither. Lizards will howl. Mountains will crumble. Until finally rising waters will cover it all. But in you is the power to stop this. In you, there is the seed. For some, it is a duty. For others, destiny. And for you, you have the strength to hunt these gargantuan Kemono. But do you have the will? What compels you to hunt now? The same hot-blooded answers. Strong prey will serve you well in overcoming this challenge. There is resolve in your words, unfaltering and true. Which leaves but one thing to say. You must value life, or all that awaits is death. Above all, survive.
Established territory around the old castle. That resulted in the ousted Rasetsu's failed attempt at taking the Spirit Isle. Yes, we're seeing more and more Kemono leaving their usual stomping grounds. And there can only be one logical cause, of course!
Of course? Maybe this is one time we should just jump to the conclusion, Sensei?
All across Azuma, and perhaps beyond, the celestial thread that sustains Kemono is drying up. That explains why Amaterasu targeted the town. Celestial thread is now in abundant supply here.
Are you trying to say...
Exactly. It's trying to absorb Minato into its territory. Reviving the Karakuri on the Spirit Isle was... cavalier.
But that was done for Minato's survival. The Hime-sama, the elders, everyone agreed it was the right thing to do. Anyway, what's done is done. Now we have to eliminate this bird before it gets too damn comfortable in our town. We need your skills here. Find out where Amaterasu is now.
No. The burden's too great for a lone hunter. And besides, rather than blindly searching, waiting here would be far more practical. We can be sure it will return. It will be eager to conclude its territorial claim.
Then we have to bolster our defenses. And fast. Can we ready the Karakuri we used against the Earthbreaker? This is akin to siege warfare, though the investment is a single foe. We need to prepare and deploy carefully. I'll take command.
Goodness, Ujishige! Such motivation and not a sake cup in sight!
Who do you think I am? I was a samurai general once. Now, I've got 100 things to do. I'll leave the Karakuri with you.
Well, his military expertise will certainly be useful. But we can't ignore the overwhelming strength of our enemy. We need a secret weapon. In fact, I was just talking to Natsume about that. It's probably better if she explains herself. You should find her assessing the damage to the spirit wheel.
Managed to get the wheel working again. Now it's completely mangled. What we did on the Spirit Isle was... No. It's alright. I can fix this. I've just been talking to Suzura-sensei. Do you remember what I told you before about how there used to be another tower next to the Spirit Wheel? A second giant Karakuri? From what I can tell by studying that stone tablet, it was a weapon used to repel Kemono. I think we can reconstruct it. I'm making it sound easy. Obviously, we couldn't possibly build it from scratch at this stage. But if we fix the wheel and hooked another old Karakuri into its mechanism, we should be able to make it work like the other tower did. Or at least, that's the theory. The first stage is to have Rensang and her crew repair the main structure. We could really do with your help too. Would you be able to gather the materials we need for the Karakuri part? It's a very old device that I can't put together with things I have lying around. It's going to take some rare materials with unusual properties. As it happens, with the Kemono fighting each other for territory at the moment, their bodies seem to be undergoing changes. We might be able to get the sort of materials we need from these clashing Kemono, but they're fiercer than ever. So please be extra careful. I don't want you to get hurt. Arigato. Then let's not waste any time.